Hello students, so today we are going to discuss about Coulomb's law, forces between charges. In our previous classes we have seen that two like charges repel each other, whereas unlike charges attract each other. Right? But the question is that by how much force do they repel? By how much force do they attract? This statement was quite silent about this information. You could not say anything about the amount of force. Amount of force of attraction or repulsion, right? Coulomb's law lets you know about the amount of force. Okay, so that is very interesting and very important, right? So let us have a look at the law. Coulomb's law states that suppose there are two charges Q1 and Q2. We usually denote charges by Q. Okay, so there are two charges Q1 and Q2 in air, suppose, and they are separated by some distance r. Okay, so therefore according to the Coulomb's law, they are going to exert some amount of force F, say, on each other. We are still silent about the amount. We are still silent about the type of force that they are exerting on each other. We are not saying anything about repulsion or attraction. Okay, because these charges can be like charges or they can be unlike charges. Any possibility is there. We are not excluding any possibility in this case. Okay, so since this is a law, this is generalized in that sense that we are not considering any particular type of a set of charges. For any set of charges, this Coulomb's law will be valid. Okay, now according to the Coulomb's law, the amount of force will be directly proportional to the product of the charges. I think that you are familiar with this sign. This is called the sign of variance that you have studied in mathematics. So the amount of force will be directly proportional or directly vary as the product of the charges when the distance is constant. Okay, it means that you are keeping the separation fixed and taking different sets of charges. For an example, if I am talking about that you have separated two charges, say 5 coulomb, plus 5 coulomb and minus 5 coulomb, and they are separated by 10 centimeter. The amount of force they will be experiencing if you take two charges like plus 5 coulomb and say plus 10 coulomb, and you have separated them by the same distance 10 centimeter, the amount of force that they are experiencing, that will be definitely bigger than F1. Why? Because in this case the product of the charges is 50, whereas in this case the product of the charges is 25 only. Since in this case the product of the charges, that is Q1 into Q2, is 50, which is more than 25, therefore this force is going to be more compared to this force F1. Okay, so this is the statement of the question of the point 1 of Coulomb's law. Second statement says that the amount of force should be inversely varying with the square of the distance between them when the charges are constant. Now what does it mean? It means that suppose you have taken those charges plus 5 coulomb and minus 5 coulomb and you have separated them by a distance, say 10 centimeter. Okay, so in this case they are experiencing a force F1. Suppose we are considering a next situation in which they are separated by a lesser distance, say 5 centimeter. The same charges you have taken, plus 5 coulomb and minus 5 coulomb, but their distance has been reduced. In this case the force is, say, F2. Now according to this law, if the distance is more, the square will be more, and if the square is more, since it is in the denominator, the entire value will reduce, right? So therefore the force will also reduce. It means that if you take the charges away from each other, they will feel less amount of force. So in the first case the force they are experiencing, in the second case, since the charges are close to each other, they will experience more force compared to the first case. Okay, so these two are this point 1 and point 2 together, they are called the Coulomb's law. If you combine them, you can write F is equal to some proportionality constant K into Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay, this K has got certain values in different systems. They will depend on the unit system that you are choosing. Actually, for CGS For CGS system, we consider K to be 1 when we are talking about air or vacuum also. Okay, so in this case, F shall look like F is equal to Q1 Q2 by R square. So you have to remember this formula for your numerical problems also, and this is a very important law for your exam. So that is all for this video. In our next video, we are going to define some quantities from this law. Thank you.